The music stopped so abruptly that Ellen's sound engineer thought someone had accidentally hit the wrong button. One moment, Ellen DeGeneres was celebrating young heroes with her usual warmth, her audience of 300 people enjoying heartwarming stories of children making a difference in their communities. The next moment, complete silence as a 7-year-old girl in the front row stood up and said 21 words that would change everything. "I'm not a hero, Ellen. I'm dying, but I don't want my family to know, because today is supposed to be their happy day." The studio fell into stunned quiet. Ellen's smile faded as she processed what she just heard from this little girl, whose words carried the weight of impossible maturity and heartbreaking love. It was Tuesday afternoon at the Warner Bros. Studios in Burbank. Ellen's Little Heroes segment was being taped. The set decorated with colorful balloons, children's artwork, and inspiring quotes about making a difference. The energy had been exactly what producers expected: joyful, uplifting, filled with stories of young people showing extraordinary kindness and courage. But sitting in the front row, wearing a beautiful yellow dress with sunflowers on it and clutching a small heart-shaped locket, was someone whose presence would transform this ordinary Tuesday into television history. 7-year-old Lily Martinez was a first grader carrying a secret that would stop Ellen's show and create the most emotional moment about childhood innocence, family protection, and what it truly means to be brave. What Ellen didn't know was that Lily carried a story that would redefine what it means to be a little hero and reveal the profound love that children possess when they choose to protect the people they care about most. Lily was a small girl with curly brown hair, held back by a yellow headband that matched her dress, bright hazel eyes that seemed to hold secrets too big for someone so young, and a smile that could melt hearts when she wasn't worried about protecting everyone else's feelings. She wore the dress her grandmother had bought specially for this day, complete with white tights and small black shoes. Around her neck hung a tiny gold locket that contained a photo of her entire family: her parents, older brother Miguel, and baby sister Sophia. The show had progressed beautifully through its opening segments. Ellen danced through the audience with her characteristic energy, celebrating children who had started charities, helped neighbors, or shown remarkable kindness in their schools and communities. She interviewed several young heroes about their projects, creating the kind of inspiring content that reminded viewers about the goodness that exists in the world. During the Little Heroes segment, Ellen had been highlighting children who had made extraordinary differences in their communities despite their young ages. She'd spoken with an 8-year-old who collected toys for homeless shelters, a 9-year-old who started a food drive at his school, and a 10-year-old who organized beach cleanups. The atmosphere was celebratory and encouraging, honoring children who had shown that age was no barrier to making positive change. Then Ellen noticed something that made her pause mid-conversation with a young environmental activist. While other children in the audience were smiling and clapping enthusiastically, Lily was staring at her locket with an expression of profound sadness that seemed impossible for someone celebrating heroes. "I'm sorry," Ellen said, approaching Lily's row with the gentle intuition that had made her beloved by children worldwide. "I can see you have something on your heart, sweetheart. What's your name? And is there something you'd like to share with us?" Lily looked up at Ellen with eyes that carried far too much weight for a 7-year-old. She held up her locket, and Ellen could see that her small hands were trembling slightly. "I'm Lily Martinez, and I'm 7 years old," she said, her voice clear despite her obvious nervousness. "My family thinks I'm here because I started a kindness club at my school, but that's not the real reason." The studio began to quiet as audience members sensed they were about to witness something far more profound than typical childhood achievement stories. "Lily, tell me about your kindness club," Ellen said gently, kneeling down to Lily's level with the patience that had made her America's favorite daytime host. Lily's small fingers opened her locket to reveal a photo of her family. "I started the kindness club because I wanted to do as many nice things as possible before." Her voice trailed off as she looked at the photo of her parents and siblings. Ellen felt her chest begin to tighten as she sensed this story was heading somewhere heartbreaking. "Before what, sweetheart?" "Before I have to go to heaven," Lily replied with the matter-of-fact tone that only children can use when discussing the unthinkable. "I have something wrong with my heart, and the doctors say it's very sick, but today was supposed to be happy for my mommy and daddy and Miguel and baby Sophia." The cameras had instinctively moved closer, understanding they were capturing something extraordinary about childhood courage and family love. My family has been so excited about coming to see you, Lily continued, tears beginning to form in her eyes. They keep saying how proud they are of me for starting the Kindness Club and getting invited to your show. I don't want them to know that I know about my heart, because then they'll be sad instead of proud. Ellen reached out and took Lily's small hand. Lily, what do you know about your heart? I heard the doctors talking to Mommy and Daddy when they thought I was sleeping in the hospital, Lily said, her voice becoming smaller. They said my heart is too sick to fix and that I probably won't live to see my 8th birthday. But they told Mommy and Daddy not to tell me yet because they want me to have happy days first. The silence in the studio was now complete, as everyone understood they were witnessing a child who had been carrying an impossible secret to protect her family's joy. So I've been pretending that I don't know, Lily continued, and I started the Kindness Club because I wanted to help as many people as possible while I still can. I've been extra nice to everyone, especially Miguel and baby Sophia, because I want them to remember me being happy. Ellen felt something profound shift in her understanding of courage and sacrifice. Lily, how long have you been keeping this secret? 3 weeks, Lily replied. Ever since we found out we were coming to your show. I didn't want anything to ruin this special day for my family. The camera operators were now completely focused on Lily, understanding they were witnessing something that transcended typical television. This was about pure, selfless love in its most innocent form. Ellen, can I tell you a secret? Lily asked, looking up with eyes that seemed much older than 7. I'm scared about going to heaven, but I'm more scared about my family being sad. Do you think they'll be okay without me? Ellen stood up slowly, her mind reeling with the magnitude of what this 7-year-old was carrying alone. Lily, sweetie, where is your family right now? They're sitting over there, Lily said, pointing to a section of the audience where her parents, a teenage boy, and a woman holding a toddler, were sitting with expressions of pride and joy, completely unaware of the conversation happening on stage. That's when Ellen made a decision that would define this moment forever. She walked to center stage and addressed her production team with an urgency that surprised everyone. Stop everything, Ellen announced, her voice carrying across the studio with absolute authority. Cut the music, stop the cameras for a moment. We need to do something different today. Ellen returned to Lily and gently lifted her from her seat, carrying her to center stage. She set Lily down and knelt beside her, speaking in a voice that was stripped of all performance. Lily, Ellen said softly, you are the bravest person I have ever met. But being brave doesn't mean you have to carry scary things all by yourself. Ellen stood and addressed the entire studio. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet Lily Martinez. She's 7 years old, and she's been keeping a secret to protect her family's happiness. Today we're going to show Lily that love means sharing both the happy and the scary things together. Ellen gestured toward Lily's family. Mr. and Mrs. Martinez, Miguel, and baby Sophia, would you please come down here? Lily has something very important she wants to share with you. Lily's family approached with confusion and growing concern. Mrs. Martinez reached for Lily immediately, sensing something was wrong. Mija, what's happening? Mrs. Martinez asked, her voice filled with protective worry. Lily looked at her family with the serious expression of someone about to share something life-changing. Mommy, Daddy, Miguel, I know about my heart. The silence that followed was profound. Mrs. Martinez's hand flew to her mouth. Mr. Martinez's eyes filled with tears, and 16-year-old Miguel looked at his little sister with a mixture of shock and admiration. Lily, how do you know? Mrs. Martinez whispered. I heard the doctors talking, Lily explained, her voice gaining strength as she finally shared her burden. I know my heart is very sick and that I might go to heaven soon. I've been pretending I didn't know because I wanted you to be happy today. Miguel knelt down beside his sister. Lily, you've been carrying this by yourself for 3 weeks? I didn't want to make anyone sad, Lily replied with the simple logic of childhood love. I wanted to keep being your happy little sister for as long as I could. Ellen, who had remained composed through thousands of emotional moments on her show, found herself openly crying as she watched this family confront a reality no family should have to face. Lily, Mrs. Martinez said, gathering her daughter in her arms. We're supposed to take care of you, not the other way around. You don't have to protect us from being sad. But I love you all so much, Lily said, tears now flowing freely. I don't want you to be sad because of me. That's when Ellen made another unprecedented decision. She began to remove her blazer, the signature piece of clothing she wore for every show, her professional uniform that had been part of her television persona for years. Lily, Ellen said, approaching the family with her blazer in her hands. I want you to have this. It's been with me through every show, every laugh, every tear. But today, it belongs to someone who understands what real courage looks like. Ellen gently placed her blazer around Lily's small shoulders. The blazer was enormous on her tiny frame, but somehow it seemed to give her strength. This blazer has seen thousands of stories, Ellen continued, but none as brave as yours. You're not dying, sweetheart. You're teaching all of us what it means to truly live. Ellen reached into her pocket and pulled out her personal business card. This has my direct number, she said, pressing it into Mrs. Martinez's hand. Because what Lily showed us today is that heroes don't wear capes. They wear 7-year-old hearts full of love for their families. But Ellen wasn't finished. She addressed the entire studio audience and the cameras. Today we learned something about courage from someone who hasn't even lost her first tooth yet, Ellen announced. Lily Martinez showed us that real bravery isn't about not being scared. It's about loving someone so much that you put their happiness before your own fear. Ellen made another decision that would change everything. She gestured to her production team. I want to do something special for Lily and her family. We're going to turn this entire episode into a celebration of love, courage, and the time we have together. What happened next was unprecedented in television history. Ellen transformed the remainder of the show into a personalized celebration for Lily. She brought out Lily's favorite singer, arranged for the audience to sing happy songs, and created magical moments that turned what could have been a day of devastating revelation into a day of joy and connection. Ellen also announced the creation of the Lily Martinez Brave Hearts Foundation, dedicated to supporting families dealing with pediatric heart disease and ensuring that no child ever has to carry such devastating news alone. During the celebration, Ellen knelt beside Lily one more time. Lily, can I tell you something? You taught me today that the biggest hearts sometimes come in the smallest packages. Lily smiled, the first genuine worry-free smile she'd had in weeks. Ellen, do you think my family will remember today as a happy day, even though we talked about scary things? I think they'll remember today as the day they learned how incredibly brave and loving their little girl is, Ellen replied, and I think they'll treasure every moment they have with you even more. As the episode concluded, Ellen addressed her audience with words that would be remembered forever. Today we met a 7-year-old who carried an adult-sized secret to protect her family's joy. Lily Martinez reminded us that love means sharing our burdens, not carrying them alone. She showed us that real heroism looks like a little girl in a yellow dress, who chooses to love bigger than her fear. The episode aired exactly as it happened, becoming the most watched pediatric health segment in Ellen's show history. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Children's hospitals across the country reported increased awareness about the importance of age-appropriate communication with young patients. Lily's story sparked a national conversation about how families navigate serious childhood illness and the importance of including children in honest, caring discussions about their health. Medical professionals began using her case as an example of how children often understand more than adults realize. 3 weeks after her Ellen appearance, Lily underwent an experimental heart procedure at a children's hospital, partially funded by donations that poured in after her story aired. Against all odds, the procedure was successful, and her heart condition improved dramatically. 6 months later, Lily celebrated her 8th birthday. The birthday doctors had said she might not see. The party was attended by Ellen, who had become not just a television host to the Martinez family, but a genuine friend who checked in regularly. A year after their Ellen appearance, the entire Martinez family returned to the show with news that brought the house down. Lily's heart had continued to improve, and she was living a normal, active life. Her kindness club had grown to include children from 12 different schools, all inspired by her story. Lily taught me that being brave isn't about hiding your fears, Miguel told Ellen during their return visit. It's about trusting the people who love you to help you carry whatever is too heavy to carry alone. Lily, now 8 and even more confident, had become a spokesperson for the foundation bearing her name. She spoke at medical conferences about the importance of including children in their health discussions. Ellen keeps a photo from that first day on her desk. Lily, in her yellow dress, wearing Ellen's oversized blazer, surrounded by her family, and smiling the radiant smile of a child who no longer has to carry secrets alone. Next to it sits Lily's original locket, which she gifted to Ellen as a reminder that love is what makes families strong enough to face scary things together. The blazer that Ellen gave to Lily has become more than a garment. It has become a symbol of courage. Lily wears it to every medical appointment, every foundation event, and every moment when she needs to remember that she's brave enough to face whatever comes next. The Lily Martinez Brave Hearts Foundation has since provided support for over 300 families dealing with pediatric heart disease. The foundation's motto, inspired by Ellen's words to Lily, reads, "The biggest hearts come in the smallest packages, and the bravest love chooses to share instead of hide." Today, Lily Martinez is 9 years old and thriving. Her heart is strong, her kindness club has helped hundreds of children learn about compassion, and she continues to be living proof that courage isn't about the absence of fear. It's about loving so deeply that you trust others to help you be brave. Because sometimes the greatest heroes are 7 years old and wearing sunflower dresses. Sometimes the most profound wisdom comes from children who choose to protect their family's joy even while carrying impossible burdens. And sometimes a little girl's courage to finally share her secret can teach an entire world that the bravest thing anyone can do is trust the people they love to help them face whatever comes next.